Well, welcome back, everybody. Clint here today. Wanted to come at you with a quick little live stream. I actually posted to my members only on YouTube a fun post. I even posted on Instagram like, hey, expect more of this kind of stuff, about going live tonight. Because I want to go live tonight. I want to talk to you guys a little bit about what's going on. First and foremost, breaking news is that Marjorie Taylor Greene is resigning as of January 5th, 2026, which is actually kind of sad to hear because she has been a huge friend to the Second Amendment, unlike this current Department of Justice. And before we go any further, I already know that there's going to be friends of mine, even on Facebook, that say, oh, having voter remorse, having voter regret. I am not. And let me explain why. Because under Kamala Harris, we know exactly what we'd be getting, which also kind of makes this a burn, a cut even a little bit deeper. Because again, with the left, you know exactly what you're getting. Anti-gun, anti-freedom, right? Or at least anti-freedom for what they don't believe in. With Trump and this administration and this DOJ, we got a betrayal. And again, with the left, you know what to expect. But in this case, for this attorney general, who we knew was, let's just be optimistic, or let's just be a little bit more friendly for the time being, for the moment, and just say, we knew that just Attorney General Pam Bondi was questionable at best. At best. Let me compose myself. And then, as of yesterday, this same individual who has been no friend to the Second Amendment is ultimately siding with a decades-old infringement, the National Firearms Act, and saying things, first of all, saying that regulates weapons, primarily weapons of war. Newsflash, the Second Amendment was written for weapons of war. I'm tired of this being some sort of talking point that's supposed to scare people into thinking that the Second Amendment shouldn't exist because weapons of war are scary. They are an absolute necessity. Actually, it says that in the Second Amendment. Necessary to a free state. Okay. Thank you, gun owners of America. You guys already know, deeply associated. There's some news coming out from that too here soon, but thank you, gun owners of America. I see how hard that legal team is working, our legal team is working there to try and restore and defend our Second Amendment. And they are putting into context things that make it easy for me to understand. And for those of us that might not be all up to date or all that savvy with legal speak, they come out and put out things that are easier to understand. I greatly appreciate it. Bondi invents a new subjective test using particularly dangerous and uniquely susceptible to justify gun bans. This is ridiculous. And then this is the one. Oh boy, howdy. Guys, this is the one that I think really just made my skin crawl. Because what she's ultimately saying in this text right here, that's highlighted so you all can see, is that firearms that are easily and efficiently concealed are more dangerous because they can be used by criminals. What about the law-abiding? What about the American citizen that is looking to defend themselves with a tool that they deem justifiable and easy to use? Every concealed carry weapon user, carrier, every person that EDCs, this should be alarming, to say the least. This Department of Justice, Trump's, let's not make any mistake here, President Donald Trump's Department of Justice has betrayed all American gun owners. Period. That's it. That's it. We already knew that there was some questions around it. And let's give credit where credit's due. There have been some pro 2A things that have taken place. What happened to this this team that was supposed to be rolling back Biden-era anti-gun legislation. That I saw that, and I was like, oh, that's interesting. They're going to be taking a look into books and rolling back things. Okay, all right, that's cool. Maybe it's just because I'm a little upset. I can't recall, actually, Biden-era gun legislation that's got me this fired up. Correct me if I'm wrong. Anybody? Additionally, the Department of Justice is calling the $0 NFA a tax. Explain that. Make that make sense. And embraces the most expansive federal power since FDR. You know, FDR, the same guy that essentially confiscated precious metals from Americans to fill Fort Knox. All the gold, you know, that's supposed to be backing the American dollar. Weren't we supposed to get some sort of video or something coming out of Fort Knox? I can't remember. Wasn't that something that was said? I don't know. Right? Something like that. And for those of you that might be saying, oh, you know what? Hey, at least that tax stamp costs $0 now. I'm happy about that, right? That's weak. I would applaud that, actually, under a Kamala Harris administration. I'd say, wow, that's progress. This is crumbs. This is just give them something to go away. Newsflash, we're not going away. Newsflash, you're enemies of the Second Amendment. If you support things such as the National Firearms Act, you are no friend of the Second Amendment. That's that. Going back to my first point, for any of you on Facebook or somewhere else, especially some of my lefty friends that I may have grown up with or something, saying, oh, you got buyer's remorse with Trump, huh? No, I like to actually hold people accountable, especially those that I have voted for and helped elect into office to represent who? To represent me. And if they're not doing that, again, I expect this from somebody I didn't vote for, but I will hold accountable my own party, if you wish, even though I don't really claim Republican or Democrat, even though I side more with the Republican Party on most issues, pretty much all issues. There's a lot of things I don't agree with the Republican Party, but we, the right, typically actually holds accountable its own party. The left just goes along with whatever. That's typically what I see. So yeah, not too happy with this Department of Justice, not too happy with the president for allowing this to happen. And J.D. Vance, homeboy, hey, Marine, where were you when you could have stopped a parliamentarian? Where were you when we could have actually had the NFA gutted in the big, beautiful bill? Where were you? Trump admin is defending the archaic NFA. DOJ says the $0 NFA tax is still a valid tax. Make it make sense. Does that make sense to you? Does it make sense to you? This is where we're at. They gaslight us. They say one thing. I mean, this is par for the course for just about all politicians. They're going to say what you want to hear while they're running, while they're campaigning. And then once they're in office, they gotta bow down to the sponsors. Never mind the people that actually put them in office. How are y'all feeling right now, chat? This is going to be a short one tonight because I didn't really want to start my weekend off like this, but I don't really have any other option. And this is something that I think needs to be talked about. All right? Actually, you know what? You know what else needs to be talked about? The phone lines close at 3 p.m. Eastern time. And I called the White House. You can call and leave a message. It took me 4 minutes, and I was the 18th person in line. I actually recorded it, but due to, two-party, I didn't know what the laws were, so I'm not going to play anything back. I'm not going to use it. There's no evidence that I recorded anything. But at the end of it all, I recorded just because I wanted to hear how simple, I wanted to show how simple and easy it would be to actually leave a voicemail speak and leave your message for the White House. But at 3 p.m., they stopped taking calls. So Monday, When those lines open up, 202-456-1111. That phone number is 202-456-1111. Urge this president and this DOJ of his to actually start supporting the Second Amendment. Follow at Gun Owners, because Gun Owners of America is putting out everything you need to know right now. They're putting it out there. They're obviously as mad as I am. 202-456-1111. Call them. Let them know that you want the president that we put into office, most of us, to actually represent we the people. Because this is nonsense. This is insane. It does not make sense as to why somebody is... Where are you at, Trump Jr.? Aren't you a big gun guy? Don't you shoot suppressors and don't you hang out with gun people? I saw you at SHOT Show. Got a picture with you. Why don't you grab your dad by the ear and just say, hey, man, maybe we should get rid of the NFA, you know? Or is Silencer Central paying you? You know? Anyway. If you know, you know. Thank you for the super chat. Appreciate it. X marks the spot. Brandon Herrera. Yeah, let's get him in office, all right? I'm going to take a couple questions from the chat. I'm going to see you guys there. I just want to, I need to get that off my chest. I need to come here, not just to vent, but to inform and to show, too, that just about anybody and everybody out there, left, right, indifferent, doesn't matter. This is your right. This is your God-given right. Protected from the oppressors, or at least it should be, because it's written in the Constitution. The Constitution isn't there to limit the people. It's there to limit the government. It's not stating what rules we, the people, have. It's saying what inalienable rights that we are endowed with by our Creator, that the government cannot touch. It what shall not be infringed, actually. Why are they? In fact, why are we allowing it? Bread and circuses, that's why. Thank you, X Marks Assad. I really appreciate the super chat. Helps out the channel, all of it. Thank you. Tom is saying the most 2A friendly DOJ, Department of Jokers. No kidding. I'm simple. I see Clint live. I join. Thank you, Red Bandit. I really greatly appreciate that. DOJ, ATF, NFA are all jokes. Simplify, Rocket. Simplify to you, man. Thank you. Appreciate you, Jake. Got my GOA packet. Sent my postcards to Trump. Excellent. Thank you, Jake. Greatly appreciate that as well. Mark coming in. Facts. Thank you. Truth hurts. I voted for Trump, but I know there is no part of the United States government that is trustworthy. No. Nope. That is absolutely right. The United States government is one of the largest criminal organizations in the world. Oh, man. Tanner, what's up, man? How spicy will Clint get tonight? Let's hear it, bro. This all makes me not want to follow a single rule law. What a joke. The whole system is every single year. Like I said, they're going to tell you exactly what you want to hear, man. They're going to tell you what you want to hear. They're going to run on all these promises and dreams and all these great, wonderful things. It's going to be a utopia. And then they get in the office, and what are they? The same. They're the same. Every single time. Give them crumbs. Feed them. Feed those peasants. $200. Take it off the table. That'll shut them up for a while. No, it won't. Shouldn't even exist. And I'm not just talking about the National Firearms Act. I'm not just talking about the Gun Control Act or the Hughes Amendment or the countless other anti-gun laws that are currently on the books. I'm talking about the ATF. And I'm talking about this mindset that just keeps allowing it to happen. Yo, YouTube gave me no heads up for this stream. Glad you're here. Appreciate that, man. Thank you. It was very last minute. I actually did plan on going live tonight already, as the monthly members know, which you are. Thank you, Mark. I put out my post on YouTube yesterday and shared it to my Instagram story and said, hey, I'm thinking about going live, comment. And Not one of you guys got what I was drinking right either, so no free hat to anybody yet. All right. And Bondi can't be trusted. We knew that from the very beginning, brother. We knew that from the very beginning, but couldn't be trusted is one thing. This is beyond a failure. This is anti-American. You think about the fundamentals of this country. What we are based upon was evading taxes and illegal firearms. All right. The only 3-letter agency gun owner should trust is GOA's. That's awesome. Yes, absolutely. We have allies in this fight, and I want to shout them out as well. Thank everybody, especially on our big, beautiful lawsuit. All the plaintiffs we have over there, Silencer Shot, PSA even, the list goes on. And, it's just like Silencer Co. It's awesome how many allies we actually have in this fight. We filed that big, beautiful lawsuit 24 hours. Within 24 hours after the big, beautiful bill passed. Big, beautiful bill. Such bullshit. And you're right. We do need to get her out of her position pronto. Call 456. The hell was the number? 203-456? 202-456-1111. I'm going to have that number memorized because I'm going to call it every single day. 202-456-1111. Tell the White House exactly how you feel. I was kind. I was calm when I called because that staffer that answered the phone, she doesn't deserve this. The president does. Pam Bondi damn sure does. And anybody who supports this nonsense does. And then you got Marjorie Taylor Greene. Love her or hate her, she remained true to her principles. She was loyal to Trump at the beginning and then called him out, rightfully so. And then what? Quits because, and I don't blame her. I don't know what she's having to go through personally, what this might be doing to her family. Can we dig a little bit deeper here? Dare I say, how far off the rails do we want to go here, right? You think about what this criminal organization, the United States government, what they could be associated with. Why all of a sudden we're still talking about this guy, the Epstein files? Yeah, we're still talking about it. I still want those released too. Weren't those on the president's desk? Something to be signed for him to release all the files? You think about just how vicious, powerful that some of these people are. Part of me wonders, just pure speculation, if MTG there didn't get some sort of letter. And if she's concerned about her family and everything, says, you know what? I'm backing off. I'm going away. January 5th is my last day. Just speculation. Bondi needs to go. She's not even good as a useful idiot because Republicans, again, aren't doing anything now that they have control. It's the same old song and dance. Happened the first time around. What did I say? I said it from the very beginning. I said, just because we have a Republican in the White House doesn't mean our rights are secure and that our rights are safe or that they're even going to be expanded. What happened last time Trump was in office? Did we get national concealed carry reciprocity? Which we're going to talk about that here in just a moment too, because apparently I'm co-host on a radio show right now that's out of Texas, but also the Second Amendment report. Spell out the Second Amendment report that you can find on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. I've got, 2 episodes down right now, 2 or 3 episodes. And next episode, we talk a little bit about this, talking about national concealed carry reciprocity and how the Fraternal Order of Police and International Association of Chief of Police oppose H.R. 38, which is concealed carry reciprocity. Why is that? Why do these bigwig law enforcement, whatever, oppose national concealed carry reciprocity? What's up? Because there's a lot of law enforcement actually, if you're not already, I got a great email from our Director of Federal Affairs, Aiden Johnston. I'm going to pull it up, actually. I'll full circle this, all right? I just got to find that email. Because Aiden Johnston. I talk about this in my podcast there. Mike, the host. I guess I'm kind of like a guest co-host right now. Awesome guy. Great conversation we always have. A survey from the National Association of Chiefs of Police revealed that 89% support for recognizing state-issued concealed carry permits nationwide. I disagree with state-issued concealed carry permits. They shouldn't exist. You should just be able to carry. It's called constitutional carry. It should just be carry. You carry a gun? Yeah, cool. How do you carry? Open carry, concealed carry. That should be as far as it goes among gun-carrying Americans. Don't need to know if you have a permit. Permits are an infringement. 110%. Anyway, 83% of police said that law-abiding armed citizens help law enforcement reduce violent crime. Almost 16,000 officers named armed citizens as the number one way to prevent mass shootings. Concealed carry permit holders are significantly more law-abiding than police officers even. According to economist John Lott, concealed carry permit holders in Texas and Florida are convicted of misdemeanors and felonies at less than 1/6 the rate of police officers. Rolling back Biden gun laws, replacing with Newsom gun laws. You know, guys, it's ridiculous. Marco Polo, keep the faith. Oh, I've got the faith. I've got the faith in pro-gun organizations, of course, like GOA. I've got the faith in We the People. I've got the faith. Just not in this dang government. Guarantee that. Thank you for the super chat. Appreciate that. Jason Noble, appreciate you, man. Never been a fan of Bondi. She's a joke. The Republican Party has been second string so far for us. When is it? What is this MAGA again? Make America Great Again? Where's who? And look, I'm just, maybe I should pivot here, guys. Maybe I should pivot. Let's talk something a little more positive. All right. Let's talk about something a little bit more positive. Taurus. Yeah. Taurus looks like they got some new guns coming out. Okay. That could be fun. That could be fun as long as they work. That could be fun. All right. I'm excited to get my hands on some and try. Anybody try the FRT for the TX22? That sounds like it could be pretty fun, right? Before I pivot too far, let me get to a couple more super chats. Again, thank you, Jason, for the $20 super chat. Greatly helps out the channel, of course. James Bierman, thanks for being a monthly member, man. Not happy about just the $0, the whole NFA and Hughes amendment. Hughes, it's Hughes, but it's okay. We're not talking about different hues of light, okay? I'm just messing with you, James. Appreciate, again, being a monthly member. And the Hughes Amendment plus some other BS laws need to be gone. You're absolutely right. The NFA is anti-American. You are 110% correct about that. Can't afford to replace her now. They couldn't get another attorney general in through committee to make effective changes before the 26 elections. Quite frankly, no attorney general will be better than this one. So that's how I feel about that personally. Jared is pissed too. Guns and Gadgets, he explained it today. I know he is. He and I were talking about it today. We were texting about it. Like, dude. And yeah, I need to get, I told him I was going to get a couple of his shirts, maybe a couple for Christmas presents too. Don't trust the government. I live on the edge of Vine Grove off of Lincoln Trail. Thank you. Good. Bondia showed herself not good. You're absolutely right. Bondi supported red flag laws in Florida. Saw this coming. Yep. Speaking of Florida, I'm going to be down there. Oh my goodness. A lot sooner than I thought too, now that I'm looking at a calendar. I'm going to be down there December 5th. GOA is hosting a Carry on the Coast event in Palm City Beach, Florida. Captain Anderson's Event Center. December 5th. Come check it out. Tickets are, what, $35 a pop. It's going to be an auction. Braden Langley is going to be there. The state director of Florida, Luis Valdez, will be present. And, of course, our senior vice president, Eric Pratt, will be there. Yours truly will be the master of ceremony, giving a fun little welcome speech, which I was in the midst of writing my speech today. It might have this same type of energy. So, come say hi. December 5th. You can check it out at gunowners.org/Florida to get registered and check it out if you're local to Florida and want to hang out for a little bit. It's going to be a good time. Dinner, all that type of stuff. So, but yeah, the fact that she supported red flag laws is enough of a no-no to me. Just like Dan Crenshaw, right? Like, dude, you were supposed to be the chosen one, right? Aren't they all? Again, depending on how they run, it's ridiculous. So much for being the most pro-2A administration. None of them, even the Republicans, are on our side. They want to oppress us. Nothing makes a difference anymore, and this shows it. I'm still going to vote. I'm still going to exercise my right to vote, mainly just because it's out of principle. Like, hey, I have this right, when probably a majority of the world actually doesn't have a right to vote. They just get what they, or they, whatever. I'm still going to exercise the right to vote. Whether or not it actually means something, I don't know. I'm still going to do it. Gates greater than Bondi. Like I said, Mickey Mouse is greater than Bondi at this point. At least he's entertaining. This might be one white. Did I miss something? I don't know. But anyway. James says, we won't be able to replace her in time. Going through committee takes too dang long. She needs to be a good attorney general and follow the orders of POTUS when it comes to those words in the Bill of Rights. Yeah, we've already talked a little bit about that and how that's just whatever. Oh, goodness. All right. Disney could suck it too. It's funny. Hey, all right. I do have a good time at Disney. I admit it. Okay. Before I met my wife, I've been to Disney once, my entire life, before I met Kelsey. After meeting Kelsey, who's loves Disney World and all that stuff, after meeting her, I've been, 3 or 4 times, and even got married at Disney, the Grand Floridian, okay? So Disney will always have a special place in my heart. I love watching my kids there. It's hella expensive. It's ridiculous. But also that Tron ride, I could keep doing it over and over and over again. All right, so, okay. Oh, man. Thank you, Tanner. Appreciate it again, man, for the super chat and for being a monthly member. Not sure what you're drinking tonight, but you should chug it. Oh, man. The crap they keep pulling just proves they are never on our side. Stay dangerous. Stay dangerous. All right. Let's talk about some good news, guys. Some good news. All right. Some fun things occurred these past couple of days. I had some homies come over. We did some shooting. If you're following on Instagram, _Morgan, you already know what I'm talking about. Well, kind of. I didn't say, yeah, I did actually. I said exactly what we were doing in a post. We just finalized our filming for my first cinematic short film here on the channel. Not only is this my debut in acting, which I definitely need to take some lessons, but it's also Kelsey's first time directing. So everybody, round of applause for her first time in the director's role. I even got her a cute chair, a director's chair, elevated, says Mrs. Magdump on the back, has a CM logo right up front, I think she sat in it once because it was extremely cold and, whatever. I brought it out there and she was happy with that. So, we did quite a bit of shooting under night vision and everything else. In fact, my binos are still hanging up right here from Nocturne Industries. Big shout out to those guys for supplying all the nods to all the homies, which included Rich Wilkins, Patriot Rich, which included Tactical Advisor. You guys probably follow him on Instagram and YouTube. Lindsay Baby Yoda on Instagram, the same one that won the Gundy for best photograph of the year, and she wasn't present to win because she was in the bathroom, and it was a really funny scene that she's still embarrassed about. Yeah, I'm gonna keep talking about it, Lindsay, but it was hilarious. And then my buddy now, Micah Mayfield, he was a part of the shoot also, and man, Mike is awesome. Yeah, that guy brings in the comedic element that is going to be welcomed in this shoot, I think. And so we're looking to drop that video very, very soon, which is crazy to me because we got a lot of content and it's a big shoot. Like I said, my first cinematic short film on the channel. All right. I'm excited about that. Big shout out to Daniel Defense who helped make it happen. Cordova, Gun Owners of America, Monadnock Firearms, Tech10 Tactical, Alpha Omega, Kydex, Audi Gear. Kels, if you're in the chat, let me know if I forgot anybody. If I did, I'm so sorry. I love you. Hold Up Displays, Henry. You know they're supporters of the channel 100%. So in indirect ways they've helped contribute. EOTech. Oh, I didn't set up my Mark 18, but you can't even see it. But on my signature series behind me, there might be an OGL on there. Talk about that later, all right? James, thanks again for the super chat. Thanks again for being a monthly member. For your next drink, 556, love it. Got your 6, brother. Waiting for Bull Tack Comp to come back in stock. I'm excited for that one too, man. All right, guys, look, let's not forget we need to hold each other accountable. That includes those representatives that we put into office. Just want to make sure I'm getting the phone number right. 202-456-1111. I got it right. Okay. 202-456-1111. The phone lines open up Monday morning. I don't remember exactly what time, or else I'd say. I just remember they stopped taking calls at 3 p.m. Eastern time. So I'm assuming like 9 a.m. Call on your lunch break. It took me 4 minutes, and I was the 18th person in line. There should have been hundreds, if not thousands of people waiting in line to let their voice be heard directly to the White House. Does it go into the trash somewhere? Is it just heard by a staffer? And do they even take a mental note? Who knows? I don't know. But if we keep on pestering, if we are in their ear and we are legitimately using our First Amendment to speak directly to the White House, and we keep that phone line ringing open to close every single day, they're eventually going to have to listen to us. Again, support organizations like Gun Owners of America. We are legitimately, you can find it all over our socials. We are fighting to not only defend, but restore the Second Amendment. And we are doing that with our big, beautiful lawsuit. Because unlike the big, beautiful bill, this is actually big and beautiful. It truly is. Because we are looking to dismantle decades-old infringement, the National Firearms Act. Short-barreled rifles, short-barreled shotguns, and the like. Silencers. These so-called, by Pam Bondi and that DOJ, these so-called weapons of war that they're trying to fight are exactly what's protected under the Second Amendment. So get your shit together, Pam. This video is not getting monetized. Damn it, YouTube. Anyway. I think, quite honestly, guys, I am like so many of us out there that are we're just over it. We're just absolutely over it. And you know what? I'm gonna tie in the short film here. Because a lot of people are gonna say, oh, look at all these LARPers and whatnot. Absolutely. There should actually be more people who've never served in the military putting on kit and going out there and training. And I want to say this to anybody that might be calling you out as a LARPer or anything. Ask them, how many rounds under full kit do they have? How many rounds under night vision do they have? I guarantee you, I have actually shot after 14 and a half years in the Marines. I have trained harder. I have shot more rounds under more stressful conditions. And I have shot under night vision even, and different training reps under night vision than my entire career in the Marines. And I can make this a guarantee than most of the Marine Corps. You got to think there's a lot of admin jobs. A majority of the Marine Corps is not the infantry, even though they say every Marine a rifleman. I've seen otherwise. I do love the Marine Corps, though. In fact, I watched for the first time. This is kind of like I got emotional. I watched for the first time since my Marine Corps career the Marine Corps birthday message by myself without Marines around me. That hit hard, you know? Anyway. Thank you again, James. Don't call me radio. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate that. Again, the super chats, guys, I might not see every single comment that comes through or every single chat, but the super chats light up all nice, bright, and shiny. I can see them, and they greatly help out the channel. So thank you, guys. Don't call me radio. With the agenda of stripping firearms from the population and the tactic of frog and pot, that's right, slow boil technique. What's going to be the tipping point? In this country, that tipping point might be when that door-to-door confiscation finally comes. Think about it. Because there's probably a few of you watching right now, oh, we'll never get to that point. Open a textbook. Open a history book. One that maybe isn't full of propaganda. Good luck finding that, I guess. Do some research then. It starts with the registration. And that's why the United States Supreme Court ruled that a registration was unconstitutional. It starts with the registration so that way the government can document where and who has what. Who has it, where you have it, what you have. Once the government has that information, what's to keep them from coming to your door and saying, hey, I need to verify, I need to see exactly what you own. Oh, and by the way, legislation passed last night that's no longer allowed. You can't have this. It was ruled unconstitutional for there to be a registration in the United States of America, a firearms registration. The constitutional foundation of the National Firearms Act is that the registration was for the tax paid, the tax stamp, not for the firearm. So, if there is a tax that doesn't exist, a $0 tax, explain to how. I've never heard of such a thing. I've heard of tax-free, which means you are free of tax. That's not a tax. Tax-free weekend, whatever. Up here in New Hampshire, we're tax-free. We're income state tax-free. That's not a $0 tax. It's tax-free. It doesn't exist. So the National Firearms Act, with a $0 tax, is somehow still an applicable tax, and that's why the registration of the non-paid tax, because it doesn't cost anything, exists. Okay. I want this to go to the Supreme Court. I want the big, beautiful lawsuit that GOA and the 14, 15 other plaintiffs have filed. I want that, and states, by the way, manufacturers. I want it to go to the Supreme Court. Because here's the thing, that $0 tax, the next administration rolls in, and if, well, we can just change the price of that. Well, under the Trump administration, it was $0. Under the Ocasio-Cortez administration, it might be $1,000, $10,000. Under the Newsom administration, the NFA will be expanded to, well, only law enforcement can own short-barreled rifles, short-barreled shotguns. That's what he did in California, isn't it? Only law enforcement can have Glocks now? Since, oh, do we want to go there, by the way? And this is why you shouldn't bend the knee, Glock. Within 48 hours of you discontinuing your most, well, pretty much all but a few models of your current production, within 48 hours, and they discontinued all of these different guns, replaced them with this new V series. Jared and I just talked about this on a live stream a couple weeks ago together. You can go back and watch it. They replace all of their Glock models, except for a few, with this Glock V series. So that way, you can't put on a Glock switch that makes them full auto. So that way, you're trying to prevent a criminal from committing crime. Guess what? You can't prevent a criminal from committing crime. They're going to commit the crime. That's it. Criminals break the law. Within 48 hours, somebody had a Glock switch installed on a Glock V and running flawlessly. Catherine, are you listening? That's Catherine Glock, by the way. Do you see that bending the knee doesn't work? And if you're wondering what I'm talking about with this bending the knee, thank you guys again for all the super chats and everything. If you're wanting to know about the bending the knee, the reason they stopped making all these models was because California was suing, and it was ultimately one state that wanted Glock out of the state. They are putting switches on the V's already. Yep. Yes, they are. The Glock switches are already illegal. They are the full auto machine gun, not the Glock. Ain't got to tell me. All right, guys. I told my wife I was going to make it a short one. Look at my hair, guys. Look, this has been my life the last 48 hours. You know, you can't help but just kind of laugh at this. Like, what did you expect? Did I actually have hope in the government? I mean, I was optimistic. You know, I was like, okay, all right, let's see. I mean, the mere fact that the NFA being gutted was in a federal bill. The fact that it was there. Just right. It was right there. So close. And then an unelected bureaucrat strips it. It's almost like they knew. They knew it wasn't going to pass. So let's make an attempt. Let's just show them that we're pro-gun. We care about the Second Amendment. Look what we're trying to do. We're trying to dismantle the NFA. Oh, the parliamentarian took it out. Shucks. That's just too bad. Well, you know, we'll get them next time. And what have they done? They've sided with the National Firearms Act. Checks out, dude. All right, I'm wrapping it up, guys. Again, that cinematic short film, Operation Blackout, because it's all night vision and whatnot, coming out really soon. I don't want to make any promises just in case, you know, delays or anything like that. It'll be coming out before GTA 6. I can tell you that much. I make myself laugh sometimes. All right, let me get to the final super chats here. Let's see here. Rye 2939, shocked by how bad Republicans did New Jersey last election. Blowout in North Jersey, even with Morris County Sheriff's endorsement of the Republican. I know. I feel for my buddy Tony Simon out there. Man. Pew England shenanigans. You know, I like that. Pew England shenanigans. That's dope. Thank you for the super chat, everybody that's donated tonight. Y'all the real ones. I appreciate y'all. Appreciate everything you do, man. Just moved to Southern New Hampshire a couple months back and love it. You shop at Monadnock Firearms? Because you should. Any plans for a range meetup for locals in the future? Would love to get out and make some new friends, run some drills. Actually, you know, in my latest video, which, by the way, I don't know if I'm going to have a video drop this Sunday or not. It's been pretty chaotic over here. I'm going to try to get something done tomorrow. I've got a couple ideas in my head that I've been wanting to talk about, but we'll see. But I mentioned in my latest video about the battle of the ambi control, the ambi lowers out there, that I was just one guy running all these different guns. And I would like to bring in, a local or, friend on the internet space to come in and you test a couple of these on the clock with me or something like that. So if you're local to the area, yeah, let me know. DM me, magdump_Morgan, and let's maybe do a range meetup or something like that and shoot some guns and, whatnot. So, yeah, appreciate that, dude. Thank you so much. And X marks the spot. Thank you again. Thanks again for a lot of y'all being monthly members out there. Thank you, guys. Truly. And with that, like I said, hold each other accountable. All right. And I'm also going to part on this because this is exactly what I need to go do. Spend time with your family. Call your mom, call your dad. If you're fortunate enough to have them, tell them you love them. All right. All the anger, all the stress stays down here. I'm going to go upstairs and spend time with my family. Love you guys. Have a good night. God bless you all. God bless America. And God, please help the president pull his head out of his you-know-what. All right. Y'all have a good one and have a good night. See y'all next time. Should I set an outro video? No, let's just cancel it. Let's just end it. Have a good one, guys. Till next time.